We don't want to tow anyone.
Find out how you can help city crews clear snow faster while saving yourself a tow and ticket. And the start of a new year means goodbye for several Iowa City Council members.
Ultimately, I think what I will miss most are the people.
We go one-on-one with outgoing Mayor Matt Hayek as he closes out nearly a decade of service. Thanks for joining us for this month's episode of Iowa City in Focus. Winter is officially here, and with it often comes heavy snowfall. The Iowa City Snow Emergency Policy is designed to help clear our streets after a major snow event. It restricts street parking so plows can clear the roads more quickly and efficiently. During a snow emergency, cars are only allowed to park on one side of the street. On even days, like February 2nd, you need to be parked on the side of the street with even house numbers. If it's an odd day, like February 3rd, you need to be parked on the side with odd house numbers. Snow emergencies are typically 48 hours, meaning if you are parked on the street, you're going to need to move your vehicle at least once. City Channel 4's Joel Bowers helped us understand the impact ignoring these rules has on our entire community.
Iowa City plow operators are all too familiar with winter weather, and they suffer the consequences when people park illegally during a snow emergency.
It can get frustrating, yeah, especially if there's cars parked on both sides, and that happens at times if on odd and even streets, and there's times you can't hardly get down the street at all, and that's really frustrating. But
During a major snow event, it's all hands on deck. 12 operators run 12 routes with 12 trucks, and they sometimes work shifts longer than 12 hours to get our streets cleared.
We try to limit our crews to 12-hour shifts. Sometimes we have to go to 16, but we definitely stop at a 16-hour shift. And then the second team would come in and take their place and continue plowing.
Illegally parked cars slow down the entire snow removal process, forcing plows to spend more time on tricky streets and delaying cleanup elsewhere.
It really impacts efficiency. The drivers have to watch out for a lot of parked vehicles, and we have a lot of narrow streets in the community, and you really have to be careful maneuvering down those streets with parked vehicles so we don't hit vehicles. Drivers
who ignore these rules will likely face some pricey consequences. Tickets alone run $50. If the vehicle is removed, there are towing charges and impounding fees, and that's something city officials don't like to do.
What we really want to do is not tow cars. What we want to do is to be able to have public safety for all that are trying to use our streets.
To avoid tickets and towing, city leaders say it's best to have a plan ahead of the snow. Iowa City opens parking lots at its parks and its downtown parking ramps for free during a snow emergency.
Our sitting parking ramps are all going to be available that you could park in them after 7 o'clock in the evening and leave them there until 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll be safe and sound in there, and we can get those streets plowed.
Having that plan won't just save you time and money, it also saves snowplow operators from extra stress during an already busy time.
if they know that there's going to be a big enough snow, a couple inches or more, that if they could park off the street any way, shape, or form that the streets are clear for us, that helps us out a lot.
In Iowa City, Joel Bowers, City Channel 4.
During a snow emergency, officials say do the best you can to get your car off the street. Be aware of those increased parking restrictions and have an idea ahead of time where you're going to move your vehicle. Of course, a huge piece of this is being aware when we are under a snow emergency. To make sure you're in the know, subscribe to receive snow alerts by visiting the city's website and look for notices on the homepage as well. Follow the City of Iowa City on Twitter, like the City of Iowa City's Facebook page, and stay tuned to local media, including us, right here on City Channel 4. When winter weather hits, don't forget to shovel your sidewalks. City law requires you to clear your walks 24 hours after 1 inch or more of snow or any ice accumulation. Failure to do so will result in more than $100 in fines and fees.
For the first case, when we go out there, we're going to tag the property. We're going to let them know what the requirements are. We'll go and revisit that property after 24 hours and verify that the snow still remains, or we'll verify that it needs to be removed. At that time, we hire an outside contractor to remove the snow. So the bill is their cost plus a $100 administrative fee.
To report a complaint about snowy sidewalks next to your property, use the ICGov Express mobile app, Visit the city's website or call 319-356-5152. People recently had an opportunity to tell city staff what activities they'd like to see emphasized at a proposed sports complex on the city's east side. The city is looking at the possibility of building the facility on land along Taft Avenue Southeast near 420th Street Southeast. City officials say more amenities are needed to keep up with recreation demands.
There is an increased need for ball diamonds and soccer fields and various other sports fields in the communities.
People also submitted suggestions for the project through an online portal. Officials say they'll take the feedback they've received and incorporate it into a plan, then bring it back to the public. You can watch the full Eastside Sports Complex presentation on City Channel 4 or at citychannel4.com. With the new year, the Iowa City City Council is welcoming 3 new members. Voters elected Pauline Taylor, John Thomas, and Rockne Cole in November. Jim Throgmorton won re-election as well. The city hosted an open house to thank outgoing council members Rick Dobbins, Michelle Payne, and Mayor Matt Hayek in December. We caught up with Dobbins and Payne, who shared with us some of their biggest accomplishments as part of council.
Our biggest accomplishment that we had while I was on council was the economic development, especially in the riverfront crossings area, and infusing affordable housing into economic development in riverfront crossings and throughout the city.
I think I encouraged the council to continue to be progressive, which of course they all wanted to be, but tried to make some of the difficult choices between progressive elements that we had to do, realizing we couldn't do them all because of the financial realities.
Combined, Hayek, Dobbins, and Payne provided 16 years of service to our community. We had an opportunity to sit down with outgoing Mayor Matt Hayek, who has served on City Council since 2008. He shared with us some of his greatest memories and told us what's next moving forward. We're here with outgoing Iowa City Mayor Matt Hayek, who's departing City Council after 8 years. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Our first question for you today, looking back on your time at council, what was your favorite memory or biggest accomplishment?
After 8 years, there are a lot of great memories. The meetings kind of blend together, but there are certain highlights. I got to represent the city in some pretty incredible places. I went to Beijing, China for a conference. I represented the city of Iowa City at a conference in the White House. Did a lot of really great things like that you don't get an opportunity to do unless you're in a position like that. So that was a lot of fun. I think the 21 ordinance battle of 2010 was a really incredible memory, and when we passed a law with the support of the university, that was important, but what really became important was the fight that ensued, and I and some other people out in the community formed a group to protect the law at the ballot box in November of that year, and that was a knockdown, drag-out fight. It was very hard, but it was really meaningful, and we came out on top, and I think the results have been great for downtown. I'm proud of the accomplishments of the city councils over the last 5 to 10 years. Certainly the flood of 2008 required us to do a lot of work in terms of projects and strategy and whatnot. It also afforded us a lot of opportunity. There was a lot of incoming funding available, and so we've done a lot of great things with that. I'm proud of the economic development work the councils have done with the help of staff. I think the biggest accomplishment that I've been a part of was the hiring of Tom Marcus. And the team that he assembled when he came to Iowa City in 2010. He just completed his 5 years with the city and was exactly what the city needed from my perspective, and has done so many things, and we can't even begin to talk about how many things he has accomplished, but really that set the tone, and the progress we've seen over the last 5 years is largely a result of the administration that Tom Marcus put together, the people he brought in and energized. And that was because the council supported his hiring. So I'm really proud of that.
What do you think you'll miss the most?
Great question. I've really enjoyed the public policy issues. I've learned a ton. I've enjoyed working on things that I didn't know anything about. And learning about those things. I've enjoyed being in the mix and being part of the decision-making process. Ultimately, I think what I'll miss most are the people. I had great councils to work with. I've had outstanding staff to work with. People I would not otherwise be associated with or work with. And I've developed really strong relationships with people down at City Hall. And that's, that I think is going to be the toughest thing, is to walk away from that, and it won't be the same, and I'm going to miss people.
So what's next?
Well, so I've got a very busy law practice that over the last year just has seemed to explode, and so in that sense, it's good to free up the 20 or so hours a week I was spending as mayor and devote those to my private law practice. I've got 3 young kids who are getting into activities. I've got other family obligations, and frankly, I'd like to take a breather. I've been running hard for a long time, and so what exactly the future holds for me, I don't quite know. I like my law practice a lot, and I will focus a lot on that. But my community engagement going forward is a question mark for me, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break and then figure out how I can be engaged. I don't think I can leave behind what I've been a part of entirely. I'll always be there as a watchdog and an interested outside viewer, but I'll have to figure that out.
All right. Well, Mayor Matt Hayek, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the best moving forward. Next time on Iowa City in Focus, Iowa City is moving forward with plans to raise Dubuque Street and the Park Road Bridge. What this means for the community in terms of flood protection and your commute during construction. And tell us what you'd like to see featured in future shows. Email us story suggestions at info@citychannel4.com or reach us on Facebook by liking the City of Iowa City government page. Thanks for joining us and keeping Iowa City in focus. We'll see you next time.